Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe. Jaya Kodanitai, Mayapur Sasi Jaya Kodanitai, Jaya Mayapur Sasi. Jaya Shital Sina Jaya Giridhari Lal Jaya Shital Sina Jaya Giridhari Lal. Jaya Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev, Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev. Jaya Nityananda Ram, 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 Jaya Nityananda Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. Just to let you know, you're allowed to sit closer. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Today we continue reading from Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Madhya Lila, chapter 12, 20, verses started from 176. Yeah, maybe even a little more. Dasa Krishna Prabhu, how long have we been reading this Caitanya-caritāmṛta? When did you start? Do you remember? Devotees, we are continuing Yagya, which continues from 1992. 82, no? 1982. So, and every Sunday you read Caitanya-caritāmṛta, yeah? Yeah. So you can imagine, how long we read this. So this is very sacred Yagya, and we continue this today. I was born in 1988, so probably you started before I was born. Maybe you were starting when I was a cockroach crawling over here, and you step upon me, give me liberation from these sufferings. Okay. Before I start, I would like to say maybe a few words about this, because this chapter of Caitanya-caritāmṛta is quite difficult for our understanding, because it explains us Sambandha Gyan, all this philosophy, and usually devotees sleeping during these classes. So I believe you will be better, not to fall asleep. And I would like to read, and maybe if there are any comments, any questions while we are reading, because we will read quite a few verses today. Just stop and just comment, okay? Yakale dvibhujanama vaibhara prakasha Chaturbhuja Halenama Prabhara Prakasha. When the Lord is two-handed, he is called Vaibhava Prakasha. And when he is four-handed, he is called Prabhava Prakasha. Svayam Rupera Gopa Vesha Gopa Bhimana Vasudevera Kshatriya Vesha Amikshatriya Janam. In his original form, the Lord dressed like a cowherd boy and thinks himself one. When he appears as Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, his dress as consciousness as those of a Kshatriya, a warrior. Saundarya Aishvarya Madhurya Vaidakya Vilasa Vrajendranandanesha Adhika Ullasa. When one compares the beauty, opulence, sweetness, and intellectual pastimes of Vasudeva, the warrior, to Krishna, the cowboy, son of Nanda Maharaja, one sees that Krishna's attributes are more pleasant. Govindara Madhuri Dekhi Vasudeva Rakshobha Se Madhuri Asvadite Upajaya Lobha. Indeed, Vasudeva is agitated just to see the sweetness of Govinda, and a transcendental greed awakens in him to enjoy that sweetness. Huh? Just to see the sweetnesses of Govinda, agitated and transcendental greediness, great awakens to him to enjoy that sweetness. Yes. Let's read. Vasudev, son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Just in previous verses, you see this. When one compares the beauty, opulence, sweetness, and intellectual pastimes of Vasudeva, the warrior, to Krishna, the cowherd boy, son of Nanda Maharaja, one sees that Krishna's attributes are more pleasant. So the next verse is continue of previous one. So we're speaking about Vasudeva, son of Vasudeva and Devaki. And indeed, Vasudeva is agitated just to see the sweetness of Govinda. And the transcendental greed awakens to him to enjoy that sweetness. So if we compare, Krishna in Dwaraka, who is son of Vasudeva and Devaki, and Krishna is son of Nanda and Yashoda. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioned here. This is words of Shri Sai Mahaprabhu himself. And Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he told us that indeed Vasudeva is agitated just to see the sweetness of Govinda. I know it's difficult for you. Dwarka and Mathura. Yeah, Mathura is more intimate for sure. Yeah, Dwarka is more about Krishna's greatness, Krishna's Aishwarya Bhav, and Madhura, even just if you hear the name of the dham, Madhura means madhu, honey, something sweet. Madhura, not Madhura. Okay, sorry, my speculations. Okay. Anyway, it's sweeter.
They got floated over at night while they were asleep. And when they woke up, the sea was around them and they were wondering, wow, how did they get here? So it looks like it's just Mathura transplanted, you know?
Not for sure. With reference.
Please, your comment.
No, Prabhu, I wouldn't like to comment, sir. No, not for sure, maybe.
I mean, different pastimes in different dhammas. It's all about, like, how to say it. There's no. Once Prabhupada told, there is no difference. There is no difference. For you, there is no difference. I mean, obviously, he spoke about his neophyte devotees, his neophyte, followers. But at the same time, difference is in the mood. Some devotees are attracted to Krishna, who is cowhead boy, and some devotees attracted to Krishna, who is Lord of Dwaraka. And it depends only on our, how to say it, eternal relationship with Krishna. Obviously, this 5 main rasas: Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhura. So we can see all the different rasas in relationship among living being and Krishna. And the devotees who are more attracted, with this. I mean, for if one devotee has some particular rasa, for example, Dasya rasa, he don't want to change it. For him, this is perfection of life, to be in this type of relationship with God. At the same time, if one have some other relationship, he will attract for this relationship. Like an example is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. Maybe you remember when Bhishma Dev on his when he lay on this arrows bed, which was given by Arjuna to him, and before leaving his body, he gave his instructions to Maharaja Yudhishthira. And during his prayers, there are very interesting verses. I mean, Bhishma Dev, he meditated upon this form of Parthasarathi, or upon this form Radhanga Panech. Radhanga Panech means the Lord who take this Radha, how to say it, how do you call this, wheel? And so when Krishna catch, this wheel and start to run upon Krishna, upon Bhishma Dev, and going to kill him, because Bhishma Dev was nearly killed Arjuna. So Krishna, even he broke his rule. He nearly broke his rule. He was ready to take part in this battle by himself. And this form of Radhanga Panech, in Krishna, he covered with dust and with his blood. And Bhishma Dev, who is great devotee, he shot arrows to transcendental body of Krishna. And it is said that Krishna's body, for him, it was as the same as kisses of gopis, so it was the same for him. Yes.
Went into the wrestling arena in Mathura, all the different people that were in the crowd, they all saw the same Krishna, but they all saw the same Krishna in different ways. So Kamsa saw Krishna as death personified. The ladies saw him as the most beautiful Cupid. Yes. And some saw him as just all powerful. So all people in the same crowd looking at the same Krishna, but Krishna's reciprocating them in different ways, so they're seeing him this way, that way, the next way. And then the sweetest and most intimate way to see Krishna is in this loving, where you see him as a very beautiful, attractive personality.
Yeah, as Bhishma Dev, even he pray, he offered his obeisances, and I mean, he offered his obeisances to Gopi of Vrindavana, as he accepted them as senior for him. At the same time, he would like to meditate upon this Krishna's form, which is Radhanga Panech. So still his understanding that, this Madhurya rasa is higher than rasa he follows, but he is too attracted to his own relationship with Krishna, which is in Virya rasa. And he doesn't want to change it. Yeah. Okay, can we continue?
So can we understand that Krishna is the same, but the way we look at Krishna, he's different. So let's say like the Brajvasis saw in Krishna and Madhurya Bhav. So like we see in Caitanya-caritāmṛta just now that he's much more sweeter. So that Vasudev Krishna, like the people of Vrindavan, the residents of Vrindavan, so he's much more sweeter. But when like people in Dwarka see Krishna, they see him in awe and reverence. So there's difference like that.
Krishna is Rasa Raj, and verse comes to my mind, Yet hamam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajami ham. So, how to translate in English? Yet hamam prapadyante.
I reward accordingly.
Yeah. So Krishna, he's able to, how to say it? Each of every of us, each of every living being has his eternal relationship with Krishna, and this is a unique relationship. This is unique. Every jiva has his unique relationship with Krishna, and only Krishna can reciprocate. In such a way, you will be happy. He's the only one. And yes, Krishna is one. At the same time, yes, according to different, in relationship with different devotees, he shows his like different qualities. And at the same time, yeah, and Krishna is very sweet, Krishna in Vrindavan is very sweet. At the same time, who kills demons in Vrindavan? This is not Krishna. I mean, not this Vasudev Krishna, So this is like at the same one, and he's God. He can be, he's unimaginable. And actually, in this chapter of Caitanya-caritāmṛta, we read about this. This is very sacred dialogue, to be honest. This is. Do you remember the context of these instructions? Who remember what we just read now? So the chapter is called "The Lord Instructs Sanatana Goswami." Sanatana Goswami is one of the 6 Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami he was quite rich person. I think in our time you can compare him with, I don't know, who's the richest person right now in this? Elon Musk, yeah, maybe it's like Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, So Sanatana Goswami was as rich as they are now, He was a really rich person, and he was like minister in government. He took position of the minister, and the king, he doesn't want to let him, leave this position. He wants him to continue, Sanatana Goswami to continue his service. So, and Sanatana Goswami, he had to run away. Actually, he was imprisoned. And he gave bribe to a prison, and it's very interesting story. It's a long story. I will tell it shorter. Yeah. So he gave bribe for the prisoner, so he was able to run away, and he had so strong desire to run away and to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he just left everything he had, all the position, all the money, everything he left, just to get this darshan, just to get this association to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And finally, when he renounced everything, and I remember there's a very beautiful picture, when Sanatana Goswami, it took a long time just to get there, through his prison to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was unshaved, and he looked like I don't know, some Muslim, and he wore this chadar, which was quite expensive, and Lord wasn't pleased with this chadar, so he even gave away even this chadar. So anyway, when finally Sanatana Goswami, he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so pleased with him, he embraced him, and he gave him instructions. And now we're just reading these instructions, we just read instructions which Lord gives directly to Sanatana Goswami to establish this philosophy, because Sanatana Goswami in our sampradaya, his, how to say it, his zone of responsibility is Sambandha Gyan. We know that Srila Rupa Goswami is, his instructions more about Abhideya, and Raghunath Goswami is about prayojana. So prayojana means the goal, how to achieve, the goal we should achieve. Abhidaya is the way to achieve this goal. And Sambandha means something about, our philosophy, mean our, who am I, our position, who am I, who is the Lord, what is material nature, and what is our relationships, like God, material nature, jiva, karma, I don't know, time, karma, and yeah.
There's just three things that you have to know. One is that Krishna owns everything. The second is that whatever you've been given is to serve Krishna, whatever talents or abilities. And the third is that Krishna can take anything away at any time. And if you understand those three things, then you'll be happy.
It reminds me of this verse from Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktaram Yagatapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatvam Shanti Richhati. So Gyatvam Shanti Richhati, if you would like to achieve this Shanti, this peace in your mind, in your heart, you should remember this again, three things. Bhaktaram Yagatapasam, I am enjoyer of all these yagyas and austerities. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. At the same time, I'm the proprietor of all the universe. And Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. And at the same time, I'm your closest friend, Suhrid friend, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam, and I'm sitting in your heart. So get Mamam Shanti Vrichhati. And so it's very easy, if you just understand this three things, Lord is great, He can do everything, and He's your best friend. That's it, no need to worry. No need to worry, because you know that He will give you everything you need. He already gave you everything you need. So yes, and in these verses, this is quite strong philosophy about, usually we heard this, God is great, but how great is God? And now we are reading, in this more detailed instruction about what is the nature of God, how does it work? Yeah, all His energies, and it's very interesting actually, because this is not some kind of mental speculations, because Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, He instructs Sanatana Goswami, so Lord Himself instructs His devotee in the science of God, and He explained him everything. He explained him everything about God's nature, and how to say it, based on Shastras. It wasn't some speculations, it was based on Shastric and which, I don't know, ancient scriptures. So which we continue to read. Okay. I have no idea how to read this verse. Udkirna bhuta madhuri parimalasya bhiralilasya udkirna madhuri. No, I'm just the longer one. I mean, this Udkirna bhuta madhuri parimala Syabhira lilasya me Dvaitam hanta samikshayan mukhurasau Chitryateka charanaha Chetah kelikuta halottaralitam Satyam sakhe mamakam Yasya preksya svarupatam Vrajavudvadhu svarupyam anvichati. My dear friends, my dear friend, this dramatic actor appears like a second form of my own self, like a picture. He displays my pastimes as a cowherd boy, overflowing with wonderful, attractive sweetness and fragrance, which are so dear to the damsels of Vraja. When I see such a display, my heart becomes greatly excited. I long for such pastimes and desire a form exactly like that of the damsels of Raja. Purport. This verse is found in the Lalita Madhava. It was spoken by Vasudeva in Dwaraka. So this is like evidence what we just read. Indeed, Vasudeva is agitated just to see the sweetness of Govinda, and we found this evidence from Lita Madhava. Okay. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's instructing Sanatana Goswami, and he quoted these verses, all these verses. Lita Madhava, I don't know, I didn't read Lita Madhava. Maybe you know better than me. 419, Lita Madhava 419. Someone can find this till we continue reading. It was spoken by Vasudeva in Dwaraka. So Vasudeva, this was by Vasudeva in Dwaraka, yes. So this is like evidence from the previous verse. Okay. Mathuraya yache gandharva nritya darshane punak dvarakate yache chitra vilokane. One instance of Vasudeva's attraction to Krishna occurred when Vasudeva saw the Gandharya dance at Mathura. Another instance occurred in Dwaraka when Vasudeva was surprised to see a picture of Krishna. Parikalita purvahkas chamatkarakari spuratu mama gariyan samadhurya purah ayam maham api hanta prekshayam luttha chetah sarabhasam upabhaktum kamayaradhikeva. Who manifests the abundance of sweetness greater than mine, which has never been experienced before and which causes wonder to all. Alas, myself, my mind, bewildered upon seeing this beauty, impetuously desire to enjoy it like Srimati Radharani. Purport. This verse spoken by Vasudeva in Dwaraka is also recorded by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Lalita Madhava 8:34. So another evidence. Yes. Sevapu bhinna bhase kichu bhinna kara bhava vesak tripede tad ekatma nama tanra. When that boy is little differently manifested and its features are a little different in transcendental emotion and form, it is called tadekatma. Tadekatma rupe vilasa svamsa duibheda vilasa samsara bhede vividha vibheda. In the Tadekatma Rupa, there are pastimes, expansions, vilasa, and personal expansions, svamsha. Consequently, there are two divisions. According to pastime and personal expansion, there are various differences. Purport. The Lord's vilasa expansions are described in the following verse from the Laghu Bhagavatamrita 1:15. Svarupam anyakaram yattasya bhati vilasatah prayamnata samach saktya savilaso nigadyate. When the Lord displays numerous forms with different features by his inconceivable potency, Such forms are called Vilasa Vigrahas. The Lord's Svamsha expansion are also described in Lagu Bhagavatamrita 1:17. Tadrisho nuyunasaktim yovikan vinakti svamsha iritach sankarshanadir matsyadir yadhatatat svadhamasu. When a form of Krishna is non-different from the original form, but it less important and exhibits less potency, it is called Svamsha. Examples of Svamsha expansions can be found in the quadruple forms of the Lord residing in their respective places, beginning with Sankarsana, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, and also in the Purusha avatars, Lila avatars, Manvantara avatars, and Yuga avatars. I don't know what to say about this. So, again, in purport, Srila quotes, he quoted Lagu Bhagavatamrita. Have anyone read Lagu Bhagavatamrita? No? At least anyone know the author of Lagu Bhagavatamrita? Srila Rupa Goswami, yes. He wrote Lagu Bhagavatamrita as how this word, I think, sequel, yes, to Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami. To Sanatana Goswami's, yes, he wrote this. Yes, it's a very popular word right now. You know, we have all the sequels and prequels. First, you need to, how to say it, some TV show, and then prequel for this, you know, and sequel and something else. So yes, Srila Rupa Goswami, he started it 500 years ago. So he wrote Lagu Bhagavatamrita as a sequel to Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And in this Lagu Bhagavatamrita, actually, he explains this, who is God and his nature. And we shouldn't accept it, you know, as a granted, because it just reminds me one story. Maybe you remember when Thakur Bhaktivinoda, this one of our acharyas, who preached, I don't know, in the end of the 18th century, I believe, even 19th century, in the end of the 19th century. So he, when he first read Caitanya-caritāmṛta, he understands that, you know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is such a great person. That was his understanding. And I don't remember how many times. I think 3 times. Only after reading 3 times, third time, he asked, but why this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He served Krishna, you know, because Krishna is, I don't know, he's dancing with gopis during, you know, night of Sharat Purnima, and why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, such a great devotee, such a great personality, he, no, how to say it, he bowed down in front of Krishna, you know. So for Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it wasn't so obvious, you know, that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, you know. So now, this is the first thing which we know when we come here, you know. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Thakur Bhaktivinoda, at least he showed us this lila, he doesn't know that. He didn't know that, you know. So he read Caitanya-caritāmṛta, I think, 3 or 5 times before he understood that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God, you know. So, but we accepted this knowledge as a cheaper, you know. Oh, okay, that's it. Krishna is God. Yes, that's it. And sometimes we forget about, you know, all these evidences from the Holy Scriptures about who is Krishna and why he is God. It is not just someone's speculation, because even in that time, when Rupa Goswami, he wrote this Lagu Bhagavatamrita, what was the goal for this scripture? For this book, Caitanya-caritāmṛta, just to prove even devotees. Even devotees, they know that there are Vishnu, and Krishna is Vishnu's incarnation. So he proved in this book that Krishna is actually Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. So Swayam Bhagavan is Krishna, and everyone else, all his different avatars are manifested from him. Like just a moment, like we read here, Purusha avatars, which is Karandakashaya Vishnu, Garbhadakashaya Vishnu, Kshiradakashaya Vishnu, Lila avatars, Manvantara avatars, and Yuga avatars. So all these avatars, they manifested from Krishna himself. But Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so reading this, we can understand why this, Adalji Prabhu, you would like to?
The reason why Krishna is the supreme, the topmost, because there's so many incarnations, but they don't display all the characteristics. Krishna has 64 qualities, and we, the living entity, can manifest a certain percentage.
64?
72. Okay. So we're little parts of God, so we can display something of God, but only like 3/4 of his qualities. And then you have different incarnations of God, and they'll display more qualities of the Godhead. Like one thing that distinguishes us from God is God is all-knowing and he's independent. When we walk off a cliff, the law of gravity applies to us. If Krishna walks off a cliff, or one of his incarnations, he can just stand stationary in the air. And he's cognizant, he's aware of everything going on in the entire creation. We're only kind of partially aware of what's going on in our own body. So that distinguishes us. And as you go up the levels of Godhead, you go into the spiritual world, and there God manifests himself in his opulence. And then if you go right up into the very highest realm of the creation called Goloka, this planet here, Goloka Vrindavan, that's shaped like a lotus flower with millions of petals. And Krishna there displays 4 qualities that no other incarnation does. He is surrounded by living devotees, very intimate living devotees. He displays sweetness. He plays a flute, and he engages in wonderful pastimes with his loving devotees. You won't find those qualities anywhere else other than in Krishna. So that's why Krishna is the topmost. He's the sweetest, and he's the most intimate. That sets him apart from all his incarnations.
So the main idea is Krishna is the one God. He's Krishna. He's the original God, and through him, time to time, some avatars, some incarnations came to this material world, and which is like waves in the sea, so they're countless. You can't count them. A lot of different avatars, and some of them shows, some particular instructions. They give some particular stuff. They come time to time for this material universe. Yes, and sometimes Krishna himself is coming. So this, how to say it, science of this science of God. But yeah, he's great. He's all providing God. Please.
Last time you came,
Come again.
you mentioned that Krishna sometimes comes. When was the last time that he?
5,000 years ago.
Is there any predictions that he'll ever come again?
Yes, it's a big question, because you need to understand that the time in Vedic system is counted not like some line. It's more like circle. So we have Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So in this big circle we have some Satya Yuga, which is bigger, when there people lived for 100,000 years, and everything was very nice in this planet, even in this planet, yes, in this universe. And then Treta Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, so, and Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the smallest part of time, which took 432,000 years. So this Kali Yuga is the smallest part. It's like quarter, even less, I believe. Yes. Yes. So you can imagine how. And every time, once in this, the whole circle, which took. Do you remember how many years?
It's 43 billion 20 million years. It's a long time.
Yeah.
But-
So
Krishna, when last he appeared, was 500 years ago. 530, 40 years ago. 1486, Prabhu? 1486, in the year 1486, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nitya Lord Gauranga Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared. And 5,000 years ago also he had appeared.
yeah, I mean, it's like Krishna himself. He came to this world 5,000 years ago, approximately, little more. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, again, it's like Krishna himself. It's a very special incarnation, but it is a very long, it's a very big topic. Very big topic. But just for your understanding, yes. So God comes time to time, and He's going to come again in approximately 428,000 years, and just to destroy this, universe, because it will be end of this age of Kali Yuga, and it will be very difficult. According to prediction, it will not be a perfect time to live. People will eat people will eat kids. People will, I don't know. It will be like quite bad time is coming. Yeah, but it will be not so, how to say it, only after 428,000 years. Yeah. So, but next 10,000 years are supposed to be good time. At least next 10,000 years. So it's quite a long time for us, long enough to finish our deals here in this material universe here. So, and then when Kalki Avatar, he destroys universe, then again, we started again from the Satya Yuga, which is like very good time for self-realization as well. Yeah. So yeah, it's all. It is not about like just once he destroyed universe, that's it. No, he destroyed universe and then recreate it again. So that's how does it work. It's a long system. Yeah, you can find this in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Holy Scriptures. You can find the detailed explanations of all these sort of topics. Okay. Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. But yeah, you mentioned that because in Kali Yuga, the method to attain Godhead is compared very simple to the other ages, right? So is it? Is the Satya Yuga really better than Kali Yuga in a way? Like
No, obviously, for us, Kali Yuga is the best time. Kali Yuga is the time when all these expressions you can find in Shastras, yes, in Holy Scriptures, that Kali Yuga is the time when people live less than 100 years. So we have short term of life, and obviously at this time, people, I don't know, eat animals. People, it's age of, how to say it, greed and duplicity, hypocrisy. Yeah. So this very specific time. At the same time, this very bad time has one benediction. If you just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the method of self-realization. Just chant Hare Krishna mantra. That's it. Follow four related principles and try to serve devotees. Try to serve. That's it. It's very easy. So, because in Satya Yuga, people are supposed to meditate for 100,000 years, just to achieve this self-realization. At the same time, we have but they have very nice atmosphere, nice air, nice water, no pollution. Nothing disturbs their minds, so they can meditate upon Lord's form. And they have different way to self-realization, For example, like all these yogic processes or, some yama niyama, asana pranayama, all this, processes, they're good for that ages, for Satya Yuga or Dvapara Yuga or Kali or Treta Yuga. It depends. I mean, even this worshiping deities in the temple or offering some sacred gift for sacred fire, all these processes of self-realization, they are very good for different ages. But for our age, yes, the best way, the easiest way, the only way you can achieve, the self-realization is to chant God's names. And it depends on tradition. You can follow any tradition, but the method, the recommended method for self-realization is to chant God's name. And in our tradition, obviously, we know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God, and Krishna means all attractive. All attractive means he's the most beautiful person. So, I mean, Christian may call him like God, Supreme, which is also good. And Krishna is just name of this God, his name, his most sacred name, which means he's all attractive. So different. God has a lot of names, and they explain his different qualities. And yeah, so we call him Krishna because this is his name. It's actually how his mother called him. Yes, that's it. But we accept also other tradition, and people can chant any names of God, which is good. This is recommended process. Yeah, and this Hare Krishna mantra is, according to Vedas, this is the best process, just to chant Hare Krishna mantra. Together chant. Chant by your own, yes, but at the same time, recommended process for this is Sri Harinam Sankirtanya. So it's not all about just to meditate, sit and chant japa by your own. No, congregational chanting, when you couple together and chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Grantarachi Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada Patita Pavana ki jai. Entire Gaura Premanande.
His Grace Krishna Kishore Prabhu ki